Coach Saban allowed Bryce Young to take the mic Thursday. Bryce Young, MC Bryce, took the podium. MC Bryce took the mic. MC Bryce stood in front of the media via Zoom to represent the University of Alabama in a presser for the first time in his career. The young man from California, former five-star sophomore quarterback for the Crimson Tide. And the only reason why Coach Saban will let you grab the mic is if he knows you are going to represent the university not only in a first-class way in interviews, but also be articulate, be calm, be cool, be collected, answer the questions the right way, kind of be refreshing, if you will, as well. And it was a very refreshing interview with him, a very refreshing presser, very articulate, well-spoken, had a lot of strong perspectives on things. So really enjoyed hearing what the young man had to say. And within his presser, I took three big things from Bryce. So basically my reaction here to what he had to say, my three huge aspects I took from Bryce Young. Number one, he models his game. He patterns his game after Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. And this is interesting here because, though he looks at a lot of quarterbacks, though he studies college guys and pro guys, and he is a student of the game, he loves ball, he talks about ball, he's intrigued by ball, he is consumed, by ball. He wants to be the best. He's kind of a perfectionist in that way, but part of wanting to be the best is learning from the best, studying from the best, and nothing like choosing two NFL greats to emulate your game after. When you look at both Rodgers and Wilson, I mean, both guys Super Bowl champions, both guys multiple Pro Bowls. When you look at Aaron Rodgers, this is a three-time NFL MVP, a three-time first-team All-Pro. This is a Super Bowl MVP. So when you look at Young, he pulls the height, the size, the athleticism of Wilson, but he pulls the confidence, the swagger, the West Coast demeanor of Aaron Rodgers, and also kind of has some of that arm talent that Aaron Rodgers has. So, he looks at both. He looks at a lot of guys, but both of those two, Rodgers and Wilson, are just two of the main guys he pulls things from. He tries to pattern, his game after what they do out there in the field. And I thought that was pretty interesting, especially when you have Bill O'Brien, who's worked with NFL guys such as the great Tom Brady and also the very talented Deshaun Watson as well. But thought that was interesting there coming from Young. The second thing that I pulled from his press conference was the NIL, the name, image, likeness, endorsements, compensation. It is not negatively affecting him or the Bama team for that matter. Everybody is all in. Everybody's cool with the NIL endorsements. There's no animosity in the locker room. There's no dissension in the locker room. There's no frustration and or craziness in the locker room. Everybody's bought into the same thing, which is pursuing the national championship, wanting to win the national championship, becoming back-to-back champions for the first time since the 2011 and 2012 seasons. And something that Young mentioned was it's the culture that's at Alabama that allows the NIL not to be, a distraction, not to be an overly big deal. Coach Saban lays down the law. He's talked about some guys are going to get more deals than others. Some guys are going to get bigger deals than others. But the main thing is, let's keep the focus on what's important. And the focus is, as Alabama football, we get better every single day. We get better every single week. We get better every single practice. It is iron sharpening iron. And the ultimate goal is winning the SEC, going to the college football playoff, winning a national championship, and putting as many guys in the first round of the next NFL draft as we possibly can. So it all kind of goes back to a statement that Malachi Moore made on Twitter. Let's keep the main thing the main thing. And Bryce Young has gravitated toward that. He's spoken on that. He has said, look, Coach Saban has laid down the culture. We know what to expect. We know what to do. The NIL has not been a distraction in any sense of the word. So Bama football plus a little money back equals smiles. Nobody has been negatively affected at this point, Bob, name, image, likeness. And the last thing I kind of pulled here from Bryce's first presser as an Alabama football quarterback, the pairing of him and Bill O'Brien has gone super smooth thus far. These are his words. He said he likes what Bill O'Brien's doing. It's going super smooth. He is greatly appreciating the transition from Sarkisian to Coach O'Brien. And I know when Young came in from California in the 2020 class, Sarkisian recruited him and helped bring him in here. For a lot of us, we thought, we would see Sarkisian ride this thing out. Like, he went out there to visit Bryce, he scouted Bryce, he recruited Bryce, he got Young to sign the national letter of intent to come to the Crimson Tide. So in our minds, we all kind of thought, you know what, if this was Sarkisian's guy, if this was Sarkisian's project, if this was Sarkisian's baby right here, then Sark would be able to ride this out. Sark would be wanting to see this all the way through to the end. That was kind of our thought. That was kind of our perception there, if you will. But unfortunately, we saw what happened. The Texas job came open. Sarkisian could not resist it. He goes out there to the Lone Star State and wanting to prove that he can be a head coach again after learning from the Coach Saban rehab. So here comes Bill O'Brien in here. And a lot of people were questioning, O'Brien messed up the situation with the Texans, not the great coach, not the great, offensive genius, don't want the guy in here, But if I've said this once, I've stated this numerous times, it's not O'Brien's offensive coaching mind. He's a genius mind. It was the fact that he was trying to be a offensive mind, a coach, and an executive at the same time. And sometimes that's not necessarily your role, just because a guy that taught you or a guy that mentored you was able to do that successfully. In this case, that would be Bill Belichick. O'Brien felt like, hey, I'm a part of the Bill Belichickian tree, so if Belichick can do it, hey, I can do it. But just because it works for Belichick does not mean it works for you. And O'Brien, he took his bumps, he took his lumps, he learned that, he got better from it, and he has improved from that. So with Alabama and just working in his main little cubicle as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, he is going to excel. He is going to be creative. He is going to have fun. He is going to get the utmost out of this offense. But I thought it was really awesome hearing Bryce Young give the kudos to his new offensive coordinator and stating that, yes, Sarkisian brought me in, and I'm appreciative for that, but I am loving the transition. I'm enjoying the transition to Coach O'Brien. He's developing me well. I appreciate the teacher that he is. I appreciate the coach that he is. And we're having so much fun out there with him. And I'm looking forward to, growing with Coach O'Brien and seeing what we can do. So that just really intrigued me from Bryce Young. Just my reaction as MCBY took the podium. Nick Saban gave him the mic, and he did his thing with that.